Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, This and That. Today's video is, you'll have to bear with me a little bit. It could potentially be a little emotional. I am kind of opening up myself a little bit here. I realize that I don't have a ton of subscribers, which in this case probably works out really well. And as it turns out, I know 3 of you. And you, out of the subscribers, you've heard this story before. I just needed to get it off my chest, and especially for one of my subscribers, you know how difficult this is for me to talk about. And I probably don't even have, I know I don't have a reason to be upset about the situation that I'm going to talk about, but I am. It doesn't make any sense. There's no rational reason, and I know that it's something that I have to get over and work through myself. But it's one of those that hits close to home. In one of my earlier videos, I believe it was the detecting the online scammers, I had mentioned, I think it was in that video, that there was a heartbreak that I had recently suffered, and it damn near killed me. And it did. It really did. As everybody else on the planet, I have had crushes before. And usually once the crush runs its course and I make my feelings known, or whatever the circumstances are, that I become aware that the other person is not interested in that way, the crush has ended. Yes, I am upset for a while. I eat the pint of a Haagen-Dazs and watch a couple of sad, sappy Hallmark movies, ugly cry, and I'm pretty much over it. But this one is very different. This one really hit close to home because from the moment that we reconnected, it was somebody that I went to high school with. And admittedly, in high school, I don't remember him. I don't remember having classes with him. I don't remember interacting with him at all in high school. And when he reached out in December of 2015, it was completely out of the blue. Now, typically on Facebook, if I don't know you personally, I don't accept you as a friend. I don't request to be your friend, and I don't accept the friend request from people that I do not personally know. However, with this guy, we had so many people in common. The name didn't ring any bells. The face didn't ring any bells. But I knew he went to my high school because it said in his profile. But it also, we had, I want to say, mid-20s, 25, something along that line, mutual friends. So I went ahead and accepted it, and that was in 2012. Then in December of 2015, out of the clear blue, legit out of the clear blue, he sends me a message on Facebook Messenger. Hey, how you doing? Where you living now? So, I replied, and we got into a little bit of a messaging back and forth, which was great. And again, there's no reason, but I started getting these feelings, which made no sense. It made no sense. I hadn't talked to him on the phone, hadn't been communicating before that. And from 2012 to 2015, there was maybe the occasional like between us on Facebook. I'm talking maybe you could probably count the number of interactions that we had on Facebook prior to that on one hand. It was that infrequent. So it was really out of the blue. And when he messaged me that day in December 2015, I did look at the profile, looked at his pictures and whatnot. And he is not typically the type of guy that I would normally go for. So these funny feelings, this fuzzy feeling that I was getting didn't make any sense. It really didn't, because there was no basis. I didn't even remember him, but it was great. So then a few months later, I want to say it was in February 2016, my stepmother became very much aware and very interested in firearms. And she was reading stories that she felt were empowering for citizens to have their firearms license. And she got very passionate about it, and it freaked me out a little bit. And a friend of hers, for a Christmas gift, had given her a very old, got it at I think it was at a garage sale, from the Civil War type, I mean, way back, doesn't work, but bought her an antique gun. And this just kind of didn't sit well with me. I became a little spooked. So I knew that high school guy has his firearms license, because he had mentioned it a couple times in December when we reconnected in December 2015. He had reconnected. He had spoken about going to the firing range, and so I knew that he knew about firearms. So I had asked him, is there such a thing as classes? So he completely offers on his own, without any type of prompting from me. He just flat out offers to teach me how to shoot. And I was very grateful, and I said, yeah, that sounds great. So in March of 2016 is when we reconnected, and we went to the shooting range. From that moment, when I went to his house, because at the time he didn't live that far from me, he lived maybe about a mile. When he opened up the door, and this is before he even said hello, I knew that this was the guy. As completely ridiculous as that may sound, as Hallmark cheesy, no, that doesn't happen that quickly, I knew in my heart this was the guy. And this is before he said hello. I am talking about when he opened up the door. Before he uttered a syllable, I just knew that this was the guy. So that started the whole crush. And my poor BFF, I bored her to tears ad nauseum about this guy. When I revealed to him my feelings for him, the romantic feelings, it was December of 2016. He said that him and I would never be boyfriend and girlfriend because he never saw me in that role, but that we would always be really great friends. And yeah, it was tough. It was tough to hear. Did the whole Haagen-Dazs thing. But I still, now normally, with any other crush, it would have been, okay, that's it. Great, peace out, have a great life, and I wouldn't have any interaction. But from March to December of 2016, we had developed such a friendship that it was difficult for me to let the friendship go. So we did remain in contact, texting, calling, and the other thing too is that when we would talk on the phone, we would be on the phone for hours. Hours. As in, our average was about 3 hours. I kid you not. We could talk, and we had that type of a connection. So, as I said, with any other crush, it would have been just, have a nice life, good luck. But I did remain in contact, and it was tough. It was very tough. Friends and family were encouraging me to break off the contact, but I just couldn't do it. And there were times when I would backslide and sort of entertain those hopes that he would have an epiphany and change his mind, basically. But for the most part, I knew that we were only ever going to be friends. And he had other relationships, other girlfriends. One in particular that was really significant for him. Unfortunately for him, it didn't work out. Unfortunately for him, because it was a heartbreak for him, probably something similar to what I went through. But I think in the long run, it probably was good, and it was just due to circumstances that the relationship wasn't going to work. And there were a number of times when he had a vent about it. And I had joked with my BFF at the time, and I had said she was going through some things. And I had said to her, and I said, because you had always been there for me with High School Guy, I was fully prepared to be there for you the way that you were for me with High School Guy. I 1000%, the continuing, the constant obsession about the topic, whatever. I was fully prepared and ready whenever that call came. Hers was a lot less than what his was. So my readiness for her actually ended up going to him. So I knew a lot about what was going on. And at this time, this was about a couple years ago. So a friend of his that he had remained in contact pretty much since high school, met in high school. She also had a massive crush on him that I don't believe actually ever left. She had this crush on him in high school. And he knew about it, but they had remained friends. And as with me, he never thought of her in that role. He told her, we will always be really great friends, but we will never be boyfriend and girlfriend. And she did accept it, and she moved on and had boyfriends and whatnot. So her and I connected probably about 2 years ago, somewhere in there, maybe 3. And she's a lovely woman. And as I said, I kind of suspect that she still holds a little bit of a torch for him, which that it is what it is. And there were a few times that we did get together as friends, having dinner at each other's places, and that was great. So recently, she, probably a year and a half-ish, or something like that, she had moved from where she was originally living to a new place that actually isn't super far from me. Maybe, I don't know, 4 miles, something along that line. So, and it was nice having a friend close by, because going over on a Friday night, talking, hanging out, whatever. And it always ended up being that whenever her and I would be making plans to hang out, I knew she was always going to invite high school guy. I just knew that she was, because he is very much always on her mind. So her fiance, they were recently looking, due to circumstances, he had to move. So they started looking for places similar to the area of where the fiance lives and where she lives, and kind of seeing what's out there and, getting what they need. So it was a week ago. I believe it was a week ago. A week ago, she sends me a text and she says that she found a place that's a few doors down from high school guy. I was shocked, but I wasn't. I was shocked because she would move to that area only because it doesn't make a ton of sense. It's a bit farther out from where she works, from the rest of her family lives. So it was a little shocking to me at that point that she had selected that area. But I was not at all surprised that it was near high school guy. And high school guy had texted me the following day saying, I know you probably heard from Blasey that, she's moving down the street from me, or a few doors down. And I said, yeah, and I said, she's really excited about it, which she is. And I kind of can't help it. And it's probably a little jealousy, if I'm being honest, which I am. But I don't know. I don't think it's hurt. Maybe a tad jealous. And I don't know. I kind of can't find the words to adequately describe it. But it has brought up feelings, which I know that don't make sense for me to have, because I know it's never going to happen with him and I have accepted it. You wouldn't know from right now, but I truly have accepted it. But it's a little bit of a thing. And it makes no sense. None. But here's even the crazier part. Since the last week, when I was trying to work through this on my own, because I wasn't going to burden my friends with this, so instead I decided to put it on YouTube. Yeah, okay. And I probably really should have had Kleenex by my side, but I don't. The really weird thing is that in the last week, having obsessively and probably totally overthinking this, if he was to have that epiphany and he changed his mind or came to the realization, hey, I was blind and stupid, let's give it a shot. Honestly, I wouldn't. So it doesn't make any sense whatsoever that I have any type of feelings towards this situation. And it is what it is. Good luck to the both of them. I really am happy for her. I hope all the best for her and him. But he has pulled away from me, even on a friend level. Maybe he hasn't. It's just how I have observed and kind of my feeling on it, that I do feel that he has pulled away, even as a friend level, which really sucks because he really is a great guy. He does have a heart of gold. And I think he gets used a lot, especially by girlfriends. He allows himself to be used. And the one thing that bothers me about this high school chick is she had told me once that the reason why she asks him for a lot is because she knows he will never say no to her, that he is incapable of saying no to her. That pissed me off, because you shouldn't choose your friends because you have some kind of hold over them. You should choose your friends because you genuinely enjoy spending time with them, you share experiences, that sort of thing. So for him, he's probably going to be seeing a lot of her, which, that's great. And I want to make this clear. I was in no way competing. I would not want them to be friends. Their friendship was established years ago in high school. I would never, ever mess with that. Never. But now I kind of wonder what her intentions really are. But I'm not in the situation, so it's none of my concern. But I felt as if I had to talk about it, get it off my chest so I can move on, because I'm very much that type of a person that I need to vent about something that's bothering me in order for me to move on. And work is being quite the challenge lately, and I do need to focus, so this has to go through the system. So that is why I decided to take it to video, put it on YouTube. Yeah. Anyway, that is that's what I want to talk about. And now that I can focus on other things and move on. I really appreciate all of you who have subscribed. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, don't subscribe. For anybody new that's watching this video. And until the next time, take care, everyone.